AITA for refusing to let my brother's fiancée wear my late mother's wedding dress? So, this is going to be long, but I need to give all the details because the situation has completely blown up in my family. I, 28F, lost my mom 4 years ago. She passed away from cancer, and it was honestly the hardest thing I've ever gone through. My mom was the kind of person who lit up every room. She was warm, sharp-witted, the glue that held our family together. She was also sentimental about certain things, and one of those was her wedding dress. When I was a teenager, I remember sitting on the floor of her room while she carefully unboxed the dress from its preservation case. She showed me how she had it altered slightly before her own wedding, how my grandmother had sewn in a blue ribbon on the inside as her something blue. I remember her saying, "If you ever want to wear this, I'd be honored. But only you. This is yours if you want it." That stuck with me. Years later, after her diagnosis, when we were having those painful but necessary conversations, she looked at me one night and said, "The dress is for you, honey. Not to pressure you into marriage or anything, it's just my gift to you. If you want to wear it one day, it's yours. If you don't, you can keep it, alter it, even display it. But it's meant for you." When she passed, my dad and I went through her things together. The dress was in a separate box with a handwritten note from her. It literally said, "For my name, whenever she's ready." I can't even describe how much that note means to me. Fast forward to last year, my older brother, 31M, got engaged to his fiancée, Lauren, 29F. At first, I really liked her. She's bubbly, outgoing, and my brother is clearly in love with her. I was happy for them. But over time, I noticed she has a bit of a main character complex. Everything somehow revolves around her, even family events. At first it was small things, like she'd pick fights about where we ate for birthdays, or she'd sulk if someone else got more attention. But it escalated during the wedding planning. She's very into the idea of a storybook wedding, and while that's fine, she also has expensive taste that my brother honestly can't afford. My parents helped him a little, but since mom's gone, it's mostly dad covering things. Then, a few months ago, Lauren asked me about mom's dress. At first, I thought she was just being kind, like asking if I ever planned to wear it. But no, she came right out and said, "I was thinking it would be so meaningful if I wore your mom's dress. Like, it would be such a beautiful way to honor her at the wedding." I was stunned. I told her, gently, that the dress was actually left to me specifically, and that mom wanted me to have it. I said I wasn't comfortable with anyone else wearing it. She looked genuinely shocked and said, "But don't you think it would be selfish not to share it? She's your mom, but she's going to be my mother-in-law. It would bring me closer to her." I repeated that I wasn't comfortable. I thought that would be the end of it. I thought after that first conversation, the subject would just die. I made myself clear, right? But apparently, Lauren took my hesitation as some kind of negotiation rather than a hard boundary. A week later, my brother called me. At first, it was normal, we chatted about work, dad, random stuff. But then he casually dropped. "So, about mom's dress. Lauren told me you're kind of on the fence. I just want to say it would mean a lot if you let her wear it." I swear my stomach dropped. I asked, "On the fence?" I told her no. He got quiet, then said, "Well, she said you didn't totally shut it down." I had to correct him, again. I said, "I did shut it down. I told her mom left it to me. I'm not comfortable with anyone else wearing it. That's the end of it." Instead of respecting that, he sighed and said, "Come on, my name. You know how important this wedding is to her. She's stressed out, and the dress would solve so many problems. She wouldn't have to buy one, and it would make her feel closer to mom." I actually laughed, like, bitterly, because the idea that my mom's dress was some kind of problem-solving tool was absurd. I told him, the dress isn't a solution. It's not even up for debate. We went in circles for 20 minutes. Him saying, "It's just a dress, you're not even engaged yet, who knows if you'll even wear it," and me saying, "That's irrelevant, it's mine." Finally, I snapped a little. I said, "It doesn't matter if I never wear it. It doesn't matter if it sits in my closet until I die. Mom gave it to me. That's final." He went quiet, then muttered, "You've always been possessive." And hung up. I thought maybe he'd cool off, but instead things started to snowball. The next family dinner, Lauren brought it up in front of everyone. She did this fake sweet voice, like, "I just think it would be such a beautiful tribute to OP's name's mom if I wore her dress. Don't you all think that would be so meaningful?" I nearly choked on my food. Dad looked uncomfortable immediately. My aunt, Mom's sister, was there too, and she actually said, "Well, that depends. I know, Mom wanted OP to have it. So if she doesn't want to share it, that should be the end of it." Lauren's smile faltered, but she kept going. "I just feel like weddings are about family. And since I never got to meet her, this would be my way of connecting." I had to literally say, out loud, in front of everyone, "The dress is not available." It was left to me. This is not up for discussion. The whole table went quiet. My brother muttered, "Jesus, you don't have to be dramatic." Dad spoke up then. He said, firmly, "Your mother made her wishes clear. That dress belongs to OP. End of story." I thought that would shut it down once and for all. But apparently, it only made Lauren dig in harder. Over the next month, she started sending me Pinterest links of alterations. She'd text me things like, "What if I just wore it for the ceremony and you had it back by the reception, or I could have it altered in a way that keeps it intact, you'd barely notice." Every time, I said no. Every time, she'd act wounded and say I was being cold. It escalated to the point where my cousin, who I'm close to, pulled me aside and said, "Just a heads up, Lauren's been talking to people, making it sound like you're hoarding the dress out of spite." I was floored. Out of spite? For what? That was the first moment I realized this wasn't just about a dress. This was about control. About Lauren wanting to win against me, even if it meant rewriting what Mom's wishes had been. And I could feel something boiling up, that this was going to blow, and not in a small way. The blow-up happened about 2 weeks before the wedding. My dad decided to host a family dinner, kind of a let's all get on the same page before the big day thing. It wasn't supposed to be dramatic. Just food, drinks, catching up, and maybe ironing out last-minute logistics. I was honestly hesitant to go. By this point, every interaction with my brother and Lauren had some weird tension. But I told myself, just be polite, keep it light, avoid the dress topic. Yeah. That lasted about 10 minutes. Dinner started out normal. Dad grilled steaks, my aunt brought her famous potato salad, and the vibe was fine. Lauren was laughing too loudly at everything, clearly trying to play hostess even though it wasn't her house. My brother looked stressed, like he was waiting for a bomb to drop. We were halfway through the meal when Lauren clinked her glass with a spoon. Everyone turned to look at her. She smiled like she was making a toast and said, "So, I just want to talk about something that's been a little tense. And I really hope we can clear the air." I froze. I knew exactly where this was going. Sure enough, she launched into it. "I've been feeling a little hurt lately, because I really wanted to honor Mom's name at the wedding. And the most beautiful way I can think of doing that is wearing her dress. But OP's name hasn't really been open to it, and I feel like it's creating division in the family." Division in the family. Like I was the one stirring the pot. I put my fork down slowly. I could feel my heart hammering in my chest. Everyone's eyes shifted to me. I said, as calmly as I could, "Lauren, I've already told you no. Multiple times. That dress was left to me by Mom. She was explicit. It's not for anyone else to wear." Lauren gave me this pitying look, like I was a stubborn child. "I just think maybe you're holding on to it too tightly. Sometimes sharing is the best way to honor someone's memory." That was when my aunt snapped. She slammed her hand on the table and said, "Enough. Mom told me, directly, that the dress was for OP. She wrote it in a note. This is not up for debate. You're being disrespectful." The room went dead silent. Lauren's face turned red, but instead of backing down, she started to cry. Full-on, mascara-smearing tears. She grabbed my brother's arm and said, "See? They all hate me. They don't want me to feel like part of this family. They'd rather keep me at a distance than let me have a piece of her." My brother, God, I wanted to shake him, he actually glared at me. "Why are you doing this?" he said. "It's just a dress, OP. She's going to be your sister. Why can't you compromise?" That word. Compromise. Like I hadn't been repeating myself for months. I finally lost it. I stood up and said, "It's not just a dress. It's Mom's dress. And it's mine. It doesn't matter if I wear it, or keep it in a box, or burn it in the backyard, it is not yours to touch. And the fact that you're still pushing after I've said no 100 times is manipulative and cruel." Lauren gasped like I'd slapped her. My brother muttered, "Unbelievable," and pushed his chair back so hard it scraped the floor. Dad, who had been quiet until then, suddenly spoke in that low, commanding voice he rarely uses. "That dress is off limits. If I hear another word about it, I swear I will cut off every cent I'm paying for this wedding. Do you understand me?" The room went silent. My brother looked furious, Lauren looked like she was about to faint, and my aunt was nodding firmly. I sat back down, shaking. Nobody said much after that. The dinner wrapped up awkwardly, with my brother and Lauren leaving early. But I knew, deep in my gut, that this wasn't over. Lauren wasn't the type to accept defeat gracefully. And I was right. Because 2 days later, I came home from work to find my apartment door unlocked. And the box with Mom's dress? Gone. When I tell you my blood went cold, I mean it. I live in a small apartment, nothing fancy, but it's always locked. Always. I'm borderline paranoid about it, actually, because I live alone. I never leave without double-checking. That day, I came home from work, turned the key, and felt nothing. The door was already unlocked. I pushed it open slowly, heart pounding, every horror movie scene running through my head. But nothing looked disturbed. No broken glass, no mess, no sign of forced entry. My TV was still there. My laptop. My jewelry box. Then I walked to the corner of my bedroom closet, the spot where the garment box with Mom's dress always sat. Gone. I swear, I couldn't breathe. I dropped to my knees and started shoving shoes, boxes, anything that might have been covering it. Empty. The note from Mom that I'd kept tucked inside? Gone too. I knew. I just knew. Hands shaking, I grabbed my phone and called my brother. He answered on the third ring, sounding tired. "What? Where's Mom's dress?" I snapped. There was a pause. Too long of a pause. Then he said, "What are you talking about?" "Don't do this with me," I hissed. "The box is gone. You took it." He sighed, and I could hear the guilt in it. "Look, it's not a big deal. Lauren just wanted to try it on. She promised she'd be careful." My vision actually blurred with rage. "You broke into my apartment?" "I had a spare key from when I helped you move last year," he admitted, like it was no big deal. "Don't be so dramatic. We didn't steal it. She just wants to see if it fits. If it doesn't, you'll get it back. Relax." I was shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. "No. You don't get it. That dress is not yours to take. It's not yours to touch. If she puts it on, if she alters it, if she so much as breathes on it wrong." "She won't," he cut me off, his voice rising. "Why are you being so selfish? You're ruining this wedding over a piece of fabric." "A piece of fabric?" I whispered. My chest hurt, my throat hurt. It's Mom. It's the last thing I have of her. And you went behind my back and stole it. He started saying something else, but I hung up. My hands were shaking so badly I dropped the phone onto the floor. I called my dad next. The second he answered, I broke down. Ugly, choking sobs. I couldn't even get the words out properly, just, they took it, Dad. It's gone. The dress. Dad went silent for a long moment. Then he said, in a voice I've never heard from him before, cold, furious, steady, stay put. I'm coming over. Dad showed up 20 minutes later, his face set like stone. He checked the lock, checked the closet, listened to me recount the phone call. Then he muttered, that's it. I've had enough. He drove us straight to my brother's house. Lauren answered the door, looking smug and wide-eyed all at once. She was wearing yoga pants and a tank top, but her hair was done up, like she'd been trying on outfits. Hi, she said, too brightly. This is a surprise. Where is it? Dad said, no greeting, no preamble. Her smile faltered. Where's what? The dress, I spat. Her eyes flicked toward the bedroom. Just for a second. But I caught it. I didn't wait. I pushed past her, stormed down the hall, and yanked open the door to the master bedroom. And there it was, spread across the bed, my mother's wedding dress, out of the box, the delicate lace sleeves hanging off the side like it was just some thrift store costume. I gasped and covered my mouth. It felt like walking in on someone desecrating a grave. Lauren came running in behind me, her voice rising. You're overreacting. I just wanted to see what it looked like on me. I was going to put it back in the box after. You put it on? I screamed. She froze. Her silence was all the confirmation I needed. Dad's face turned bright red. He picked up the box, carefully folded the dress back inside, his hands trembling the whole time, and said, this comes with us. You are unbelievable. My brother appeared in the doorway then, looking defensive. Dad, come on. It's not that serious. She just wanted to try it. Not that serious? Dad's voice was low and deadly. You broke into your sister's home. You took something that didn't belong to you. You let your fiancé defile your mother's most precious possession. And you think that's not serious? The room was so tense it felt like the walls were vibrating. Lauren started crying again, wailing, why doesn't anyone understand me? I just wanted to feel close to her. But all I could think was, you wanted to win. That's all. Dad walked out with the box. I followed. Neither of us said another word. The fallout after that was nuclear. My brother blew up my phone with angry texts. Lauren went on social media with some vague, passive-aggressive post about selfish people gatekeeping love. My cousin sent me screenshots of Lauren telling people I was emotionally unstable and weaponizing grief. But Dad? Dad sent a group text to the entire family that night. The dress belonged to Mom. She left it to OP. If anyone brings this up again, you will answer to me. The subject is closed. And that was that. Or so I thought. After the theft incident, I went completely low contact with my brother and Lauren. I muted their numbers, ignored their texts, and told Dad I wasn't sure I could even go to the wedding. I mean, how could I? They had broken into my apartment, stolen Mom's dress, lied about it, and then acted like I was the problem. The thought of sitting in a pew, smiling, pretending to support them made me feel physically sick. But Dad asked me, begged me, not to boycott. He said, don't let them drive you away. Your mother would want you there. For me, at least. Please. So I agreed. On one condition, the dress stayed with me, under lock and key. I bought a fireproof trunk, put the dress and Mom's letter inside, and bolted it to my bedroom floor. I changed my locks. I even got a camera for my door. It felt extreme, but after what they pulled, I wasn't taking chances. The wedding day arrived. It was a beautiful late spring afternoon, one of those days where the sun feels warm but not oppressive. The venue was this renovated barn with fairy lights strung up across the rafters, all very Pinterest perfect. I showed up with Dad and my aunt. The vibe was tense. Some extended family members avoided eye contact with me. Others hugged me tight, whispered things like, "You did the right thing." Clearly, Lauren had been working her narrative behind the scenes. When Lauren walked down the aisle, I couldn't help staring at her dress. It was not my mother's. Thank God. She'd bought some frothy designer gown, layers of tulle and sequins, completely opposite of Mom's understated lace. But as she walked past me, she gave me this pointed little smirk, like, "See? I didn't need it anyway. I still win." And in that moment, I realized something: she was never after the dress itself. She was after control. She wanted to bend me, to prove she could take something sacred and make it hers. The fact that I stopped her burned her more than anything else. The ceremony went smoothly. The reception was another story. Halfway through dinner, after a couple of glasses of champagne, Lauren made a speech. She thanked her parents, thanked my dad, thanked my brother, and then, with this fake sweetness dripping from her voice, she said, "And I also want to thank OP. Even though we don't always see eye to eye, I know deep down we both love Mom's name, and in a way, I feel like she's here with us today." The whole room clapped politely. But I caught the undertone. It wasn't gratitude, it was a jab. A way to paint herself as the noble one while framing me as cold and unyielding. I didn't take the bait. I smiled, raised my glass, and said nothing. But Dad? Dad wasn't having it. He stood up, cleared his throat, and said, "That's right. Mom's name is here with us. In OP. In me. In every memory we keep and respect. And I want to make something very clear: she would be proud of her daughter for protecting her wishes." You could have heard a pin drop. Lauren's smile froze on her face, tight as a mask. My brother shifted uncomfortably beside her. The subject never came up again. In the weeks that followed, I pulled back even further from my brother. He and Lauren went on their honeymoon, plastering Instagram with beach photos. I didn't like or comment. I just checked out. When they came back, he tried to call me once, but it was awkward and short. We haven't spoken much since. I think part of him knows he crossed a line so severe that things may never fully recover. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I still have Mom's dress. I keep it safe, untouched, folded in that trunk. Sometimes I take it out just to run my fingers over the lace, to read her handwriting on the note again. It reminds me that her love wasn't conditional, or manipulative, or transactional. It was pure. I don't know if I'll ever wear the dress. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But it doesn't matter. Because it's not about a wedding, or sharing, or control. It's about holding on to the piece of her she left for me. And no one gets to take that away.